Adamant Lives, Episode 4. This is the first time the storyline went extremely weird, and you'll be glad to know, not the last. Prepare yourself. This is the sweet smell of success. We open in a laboratory. The stereotypical scientist has invented a formula, and after donning his glasses of infamy, the villain asks some questions.
The only copy, I hope.
Apart from that which is in my head.
Yeah, he's dead.
What about the antidote?
I have it here. It will cost a bit more, I'm afraid.
Yep, he's dead.
How much?
Shall we say 3% of the profits instead of 2%?
All right. 3%.
Kill him.
2, 3.
Finally. What the fuck do I pay you people for? And what the fuck sort of a gun is that? It looks like the Green Hornet's gas gun mated with the gun from Captain Scarlet, and they somehow shat out a deformed offspring. Well, it's nice to see that this episode has done away with that pesky intrigue thing by showing us who the villain is right at the start. All the better for Adam to get to the important business of running around, being awesome, hating the modern day, getting knocked out, and flashing back to the first episode and finally killing people. The Glasses of Infamy guy is the head of an evil detergent company. Yes, an evil detergent company. I warned you, this episode is extremely weird. Their packets are shaped like vases so they can give away something nefarious.
Blue plastic carnation.
Blue plastic carnations. Blue plastic carnations! I'm gone colorblind! Ah!
Artificial flowers? Isn't that, a rather tired old gag?
Perhaps, but we're giving away scented carnations. Cloud 7 carnations. With the fragrance that lingers. For a couple of days, at least.
Oh, I knew that trampoline would come in handy one day. As you probably guessed, the plot's something to do with scent. His company's giving away drugged flowers with their packets of detergent. Now, I'm certainly stupid enough to throw myself out of a window for the sake of a cheap laugh, but I'm pretty sure that someone is paid to ensure that drugs don't get given away to the public like that. Or at least make sure that new types of chemicals are tested before they're sold. Anyway, luckily, Adam hates fucking plastic flowers.
Even the way they burn is revolting.
He also hates advertising.
Their methods, plastic flowers, songs, scent, slogans. Straminious gift, Miss Jones.
That's what people want nowadays.
No, they're made to think they want it by these evil sales practices.
Okay, who doesn't want to see an Adamant Mad Men crossover? A bunch of twats smoking and being 50s when Adam bursts in through the wall and kills them before running off to the time machine that Sims made him using his deeply closeted gay guy in the 60s powers. Although the Mad Men guys might have a chance, Adamant's not used to seeing in colour. It might freak him out and give him the chance to make a run for it. Because the first thing a hero in a kids show thinks of when faced with a detergent that is cornering the market is drug addiction, Adam heads to the company's head office, as subtly as you'd expect. And inside the villains talk costuming for their version of the Playboy bunnies, complete with pencil-drawn nipples, because this show loves you all. Adam listens to the villainous meeting of the evil detergent people, but is taken out by a guard's classic use of a gun.
Oh, God!
As a club. Okay, either that guy's a terrible guard or the guy who gave him orders is terrible at being a supervillain. They don't capture him, so this is all a little bit pointless, but it does convince the bad guys that the guy who dresses and looks just like Adam Adamant, calls himself Adam Adamant, and is famous for being international hero Adam Adamant, might be trouble for them. And of course it allows Adam to show off another level of his badassery.
Are all firms so concerned with their trade secrets that they employ gentlemen with firearms?
Guns, my security men, don't carry guns?
No, strange. I could have sworn I was dealt a blow with the butt of a pistol.
Oh, no, you must have been mistaken.
The man can tell the difference between being knocked unconscious with a gun and being knocked unconscious with a club. Fucking brilliant. But given his history of getting knocked out is fast approaching the level of Giles and Buffy the Vampire Slayer, it might just be a lot of serious practice. But having said that, and looking at the footage, he wasn't actually hit by the butt of a gun, but by the side or the top. So maybe he's just playing the odds. Adamant actually goes to the government to get them involved in his efforts to battle the evil detergent company, but they're not interested. Possibly because they know by the time the police have got their orders to question anyone, he'll have already killed everyone on the premises. But not even Adamant is perfect. Sometimes he gets things wrong and refuses to accept it.
I never make errors about guns, Mr. Spaulding. I've faced them far too often.
So perhaps one day, while the police are waiting for the order to storm an evildoer's headquarters, Adamant will have calmly killed everyone in a similar-looking building across town. C'est la vie. No. Better for the government to stay out of it. Let Adamant do his thing, and if one day he kills too many of the wrong people, they can bring out the giant white balloon and hope it gets him to the village before he kills everyone in the government for revenge. Back at Adamant's house, Sims and Miss Jones are about a carnation and 2 or 3 baby shams away from a truly interesting drug fuck. His first sex with a woman, and her first sex, period.
Dreamy,
Afro...
Dighty, that's an
No! Dizzy-ack.
Please don't look like you might possibly have sex with each other.
You've got 2 airtight jars.
Mm-hmm.
We can split. We can both have a supply.
So yeah, addiction and getting high. Another classic piece of 1960s children's television. Clearly this place is turning into a fucking reptile zoo and somebody's giving booze to these goddamn things. It won't be long now before they tear each other to shreds. So Adam arrives back, unhappy again about the carnations, and hopefully ready to tell them all about those fucking golf shoes.
Where are you taking me?
I'm going to lock you up, my dear.
Ah yes, sexism. Faced with 2 equally drugged and addicted people, Adam locks the young woman up and leaves the older man free and holding her key. This will not end well. And back at the villain's headquarters...
Adamant is like some plague. It's reappeared after half a century. There's only one thing we can do.
What's that?
We must exterminate Adamant, because we are evil! Deeply engrossed in his inquiries, Adam has a quick talk with Mrs. Doubtfire.
What can I do for you then?
Before investigating a brightly lit room with a torch. And Sims, riding crop or not, manages to last for minutes before Miss Jones tricks him into letting her go. Of course she meets Adam and suddenly we're in the kids' television equivalent of Train Spotting.
Ever since you locked me up, it's been getting worse. Like a hunger.
What I would give to see her locked in that room again, screaming, complete with a baby on the ceiling. Anyway, even though I'm not entirely sure where they are, they managed to find the antidote.
Take this. It must be the antidote.
Yes, because it couldn't be rat poison, LSD, candy, or headache pills. You just went into a dark room. The first pills you find are not definitely going to be the ones you need, unless the writer said so. Which he does.
It's gone. The awful feeling's gone.
In the real world, taking strange pills found in a dark room doesn't get rid of the pain of addiction. It's usually the beginning of a new type of addiction, or possibly a placebo before a slow and painful death. After they leave, a villain who was knocked out by Adamant is questioned by his boss.
You sure it was Adamant?
Can't be definite. I thought it was him.
Well, yes, you might have been beaten up by another debonair English gentleman in a cape. Possibly John Pertwee. Anyway, the villains are good and pissed off that Adamant and Miss Jones broke in, so what better time for Miss Jones to break in again? While they should be on what passes for red alert. But she's a quick thinker and pretends to be a junkie.
Hey, you've got a carnation.
What better way to ensure you don't get in trouble for breaking and entering? Pretend to be a drug addict. The carnations are almost impossible to get in shops because the whole country's addicted to them, so I'm surprised that more people aren't breaking in. Like 1 a minute. Anyway, they decide to give her a job holding carnations at the big company event. As you do. Adam also gets into the event, because he's the star of the show. At the event, the chairman gets the biggest chair man, and we discover what the Third Reich would have been if Hitler was obsessed with flowers rather than painting. And killing people. Yeah, this guy intends to take over the country, and then presumably gas everyone who works for the other detergent companies, before invading the washing up liquid industry for Lebensraum.
We are going to withdraw supplies completely!
Brilliant! We'll be attacked by an army of junkies! That's excellent for business! The man's clearly a genius. Well, it's approaching the 40-minute mark, and it's high time that we had a flashback to the beginning of the first episode.
I see, and what do you intend to do?
What else?
Adamant wakes up in a detergent storeroom with Miss Jones. The door is locked and the head of the company is making a villainous address to the whole country. But first, a word from our sponsor. We aren't quite attractive enough to appear in adverts these days.
You'll always find total satisfaction in Cloud 7.
My name is Benjamin Kintley.
My name is Max.
All over the country, within the next few weeks, you will find Cloud 7 centers opening. There will be unlimited supplies. And of course, carnations with every packet.
A fiend. He won't say so in so many words, but he found the perfect way to rule the lives of millions.
So Adam and Miss Jones are trapped, and the room is full of soap powder. Prepare for the most genius escape of the episode. You know, I have the sudden wish to watch Patrick Troughton's classic Doctor Who serial, The Seeds of Death. Weird. Anyway, the villain is killed by an off-screen gunshot, and beyond that, the show needs no wrap-up or epilogue. Such things are for pussies. Episode 4 is my favourite episode of the show so far. It's insane. Brilliantly insane. Not all the episodes are as good as this, but there's a handful of great ones with similar sense of eccentric fun. Like the rest of this, it's too long and it could have benefited from cuts. But it's still great.